All right. So we are Jed and Michelle Chang, and we started Intentional Travelers for those who don't know us. It's a travel blog we started after serving in the Peace Corps. And the purpose of that blog is to inspire and equip people to have life-changing experiences around the world. Cross-cultural exchange is very important to us, and that's why we're excited to welcome you to Chicca's Kitchen and experience Italian food culture today.
So we know Kika because our friend Gina, who's actually on this call, who's living in Denmark right now with her husband Biaga, they suggested that we come out to Kika to do a workaway experience with them. So we first stayed and visited with Kika and Arno, her husband, who is actually videoing this cooking class. We stayed with them in the fall of 2017. And then this past year, we've actually visited them for a couple months. So that was in 2019.
In October.
Yeah. So this is me doing some dishes for some of the cooking classes. One of the great things about working and living in Italy with Kika is that it gives us an opportunity to work remotely. So we can run our own business while at the same time doing a work exchange with Kika. And it's also a great way to experience Tuscany on our own in a way that we couldn't have if we traveled on our own.
Yep. So in terms of what the workaway entails, we set the table, do some food prep, assist with her classes. Jed washed a lot of dishes, which you saw before. And those classes were from either young families of 3 from Germany, all the way up to groups of more than 20 like American tourists that come into her kitchen. And we also helped a little bit with her website or yard work or other things in exchange for being able to stay with her. I know Jed especially loves to cook, more than me for sure. In our family, he's the cook, and has learned a lot of great new techniques from Kika.
Yeah, and one of those was broccoli pasta, and it's really tasty and it's easy to make, and it's become a staple for us. So it's kind of a reason why we chose it and wanted to share with you. And especially since in the US, I know we can kind of get broccoli year round, so it's kind of a great dish for us to do.
Yep. So a little bit of background about Kika. We have been in so many classes with her that we feel like we know her introduction. So she's originally from Naples, Italy. She trained as an architect. So her cooking skills, she's not a trained chef, but all of her cooking skills and her recipes come from growing up in an Italian household. Her mother, grandmother, was a nanny. And really interesting thing about Kika is she had the opportunity to cycle around the world. She was basically sponsored by an Italian magazine, her and her partner, and they went to all different kinds of places. We have another slide of the magazine. So before, influencers, bloggers, Instagram was a thing, Kika had the opportunity to go to all these places and kind of represent cycling around the world.
Yeah, she went to like Madagascar, Ecuador, Zimbabwe, Alaska, just all over the world. And this is, again, in the time where it wasn't like the social media influence that we have now. Mm-hmm. And also the kind of bicycle equipment, like it's pretty amazing the stuff that she used to do.
Yeah. This is them in Alaska with a group. And when Kika had her daughter, Elsa, who hopefully you will meet, we didn't check on that. Kika, is Elsa coming? Anyways, when she had her daughter about 20 years ago, a little more than 20 years ago, they moved to Tuscany. And she renovated this old Tuscan farmhouse. It was quite run down, quite ugly before. But now she has made it beautiful. Obviously, as an architect, she has the skills to do that, and she did it in a very sustainable way, using all natural, sustainable ingredients. So this is where she lives now with her husband Arno, who is handling the camera today. The farmhouse is located between a beautiful hilltop village called Castagneto Carducci. Maybe we can type that in the chat in case you want to look it up later. Between Castagneto Carducci, this village, and the ocean. So we have a few more photos of Castagneto. It's just a really charming town. Almost no one has heard of it, but really beautiful. And then on the way to the beach is just a short bike ride away. This is another like beachside town, really close to her. This area is known for its world-class wines, olive oil, and cycling. And so Kika started hosting cooking classes over 20 years ago from her home kitchen for those bicycle tour groups that would come through the area. And now she hosts, or pre-COVID, hosts group cooking experiences, private cooking classes. She also rents out 2 apartments above her house as vacation rentals, which are beautiful. She designed and renovated. And in the last couple of years, she started doing food and wine tours in the nearby villages, as well as a week-long cooking vacation, which we loved co-hosting with her and hopefully we'll do again. And since all of that work that she does is in person, obviously she has lost most of her business due to COVID-19 right now and tourism in Italy. But thankfully, this has created an opportunity. So more and more people get to meet Kika now that she's online.
And so now we're excited to go to Kika and introduce you. So here's our good friend Kika. Kika, ciao.
Ciao! Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yeah. Great.
Yeah, okay. So welcome under the Tuscan sun, but today it's raining. So I'm sorry, but we can try to make a quick loop in the garden so you can have just a look of the Tuscan landscape. Yeah, we'll try because we have only a few drops and we just want to show you Tuscany. So you can see my garden here, you can see olive trees, and you can see the village of Castagneto Carducci up there. And we just live at the foothill of the village. Now I think we're gonna get inside because it's raining, but you can see my vegetable garden. We have lots of zucchini, kale, salad, tomatoes, and lots of herbs, Swiss chard, and we are eating from the garden during this time of the year. So I'm very happy to be here because I know there are many friends of ours that have been visited us. And so ciao everyone, I don't say the name of all of you guys, but I hope you guys all come back when it will be possible. And we quickly go inside here. We set the table outside. This is our porch where we usually eat during the summer and where we usually host our groups. And you can have a little look of the terrace for those who haven't been here, the garden, and we can go inside from the living room and then into the kitchen. So follow me. So this is our living room. Here, this is where we spent most of the lockdown time with the fire on and watching movies and cooking lots of stuff.
And Kika, this used to be a farmhouse in the sense that there was actually animals on this first floor, right?
Yeah, this was a real working farm built at the end of the 18th centuries and 18th centuries, and it was totally renewed during the 70s. And when we got this farm, we had to do a huge renovation because it was in a terrible state. It was totally run down, but it was actually a real farm. Where you see now a living room, it was a stable for cows, and the peasants were living upstairs. And it's interesting for American people to know that the farm was a base camp for the American Fifth Army during World War II, because General Clark, coming from the south, he just stopped here because they came here to fight the Nazis. So I always say I think there was a link between this place and the United States. And before the Americans were coming to fight, now they were coming for eating. So it's a better reason. And to make, I made a sustainable project, and I try to have a good recipe also for my home. And I used only organic materials. I was a kind of pioneer during that time. But the people that were working on the renovation were skeptical at the beginning, but then they were really happy because they understood they were not breathing all the chemicals, all the stuff that are not good for their health. And they asked me also, where did you buy that? So I was proud of that.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, and so now we can go into my kitchen. I also design all the kitchen. This is where I live most of my time here. I design everything. This is Carrara marble. I don't know if you can see. This marble has been here for over 20 years. And even though there are some stains, some spots, I think it's still beautiful. It's aging very, very well. And these tiles, they are handmade. They were one by one in the south of Italy. And this is an old pattern from the 1700s. And you can choose whatever you want. You can choose flowers. There are typical patterns from that age. But I like this one because it's a geometric, but still, if you look at it, the eyes are still moving. It's dynamic. So I think maybe we can start the class now.
Yeah, we have some folks in the chat saying it's beautiful, beautiful home, beautiful tile work. Justin was there in December. He said even in December the house was beautiful. I just want to remind people, if you do have questions throughout the chat, throughout the call, feel free to put them in the chat and we will feed those to Chicca at the right time. Do you want to tell us, for folks who haven't cooked with you before, what is your food philosophy?
Yes. I have been teaching cooking classes and people how to cook for over 20 years. And I was trying to teach them delicious and authentic Italian recipes, but also I always try to help them to make the journey from processed food to real food. I think that we really have to cook our meals every day. This is really important because this is the only way we can have a little control over our health. And for cooking every day, I think we need to have simple recipes and good ingredients. My mantra in the kitchen is the simplest use of the best ingredients. And for me, best ingredients means the use of extra virgin olive oil. We have our own olive oil because we have about 30 trees and we produce our own olive oil. Then I try to buy organic and vegetables in season because this is the only time when they have all the nutrients and all the. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can still hear you. It's just a glitch.
Okay. Now, can you hear me? Yeah. I can hear you well. Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, you're doing great.
So, yeah, okay. And I was saying the vegetable is in season, and I try to buy always local products. I think even if you don't like cooking, or even if you are intimidated by just the act of cooking, it's really important you give it a try. Just use your creativity, your intuition. Just find a recipe that you love to make. Just read the recipe, prepare all the ingredients, and just go. So it's not very complicated once you know how to do that. But just give it a try, and then you'll see you get great results. So today we are going to cook a dish which is very typical in Italy, and is pasta and broccoli. For pasta, we use the typical pasta. It's called orecchiette. And orecchiette means little ears. And I can open the package. Just a second, I take a scissors. And the orecchiette, means little ears. And this pasta is made with grano duro. And that means durum wheat. I want to show you the pasta because this is really important. In Italy, whenever we cook pasta, we always buy durum wheat pasta, which is really, really important if you want to have good pasta. The soft wheat pasta, in Italy, actually, pasta is made only out of durum wheat. But I know that overseas, like in other parts of Europe, but also in the States, you can find soft wheat pasta. Soft wheat is another type of wheat. It's the fine and white one, whereas the durum wheat, it's like semolina. It's yellow and coarse. And this wheat has a less content of gluten. That's why some people that are gluten intolerant, sometimes when they come to Italy, they feel okay to eat sometimes this type of pasta because the content of gluten is less. And it stays al dente and it doesn't stick into your pot. So whenever you choose pasta, it's important to try to find durum wheat. And please don't buy Barilla. I hope that nobody is working on with Barilla here on the chat, on the video. And because Barilla is very processed pasta. There are other brand like De Chicca, DECECCO. This is pretty popular in the States, or even Rummo, RUMMO. This is very, very good. And
Ryan
I'm sure
De Chicca, he just showed us.
Yeah, De Chicca, yes, but not Barilla. Huh? and Rummo, it's another one. So pasta is essential. Good pasta is essential if you want to cook pasta. But because if you buy soft pasta, it sticks into your pot. It's cooked after 3 minutes, and the flavor it's terrible. Sometimes when we don't have time, we just cook pasta and just put olive oil and Parmigiano cheese. This is our fast food, okay? And then we're gonna
now,
pasta.
for this recipe, people can substitute gluten-free pasta if they want to.
Yeah, of course, if you are gluten intolerant, you can use gluten-free pasta. That's very okay. And so this is, we mix today vegetable and pasta. And this is very typical from Italy. We always, we usually mix pasta with something else. It could be beans, it could be another vegetables, of course, tomato sauce, but especially during the winter, we have very good recipes that calls for pasta and vegetables. This is one of them. And if you don't have cauliflower, if you don't have broccoli, you can substitute broccoli with cauliflower. And if you don't have cauliflower, you can just use garlic, olive oil, and Parmigiano cheese. And I'll show you little by little all the other ingredients that we are going to use. So these are the broccoli. And then we have pine nuts here. And I don't know if you guys, you know where pine nuts come from, because this is pretty interesting. Whenever you come to Italy, and especially in the Mediterranean area, you can see the beautiful pine trees. You remember the big mushroom trees.
Hey, Chicca.
So yeah.
We're gonna share our screen real fast so that people can see where the pine nut comes from. The picture that you sent us.
Yeah. And I also have a pine nut, a pine cone in my hand. Can you see?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, because we found one after I sent you the pictures. And so you can also show the picture. Maybe it's bigger. And so on these beautiful trees, you have this pine cone, and usually they're all these little stuff are closed. And when they open, there is a little nut inside. And when you open this nut, you can find the pine nuts. So now you understand why they are really expensive, because this is handmade job. Check. To get all the pine nuts out of the pine cones, that you have to open the pine nuts, crush the little nuts, and get the pine cone. This was one of my one of the favorite hobby of my daughter Elsa, that I hope she's online. She said hi before, so I think she's there. Usually she helps me, but today she's not there, and I miss her. Yes. And then here we have capers. You can see these are capers, and I don't know if you can see they have a little salt. And so usually in Italy, when we cook with capers, we always use capers preserved in salt. The reason why is that that if you use capers preserved in vinegar or in the brine, the taste it will be too acidic to be matched with any other thing. In Italy, buying capers in salt is pretty simple. You can buy them in bulk. I have a big jar here. You can see my big jar here. And they last a year. And I wonder if you guys know what a caper is. Maybe Michelle, you can see if somebody knows in the chat.
If you know what a caper is or have an idea, please put it in the chat and we'll read it out to Chicca. So Chicca, somebody said, is it green peppercorn?
No.
Anybody else have an idea? If you have a guess of what a caper is, we'd love for you to put it in the chat. Oh, Amy wrote from a flower bud.
Wow, she gets the answer. Yeah, yeah.
Well, yep.
Congratulations. Flower. Nice, guys. I did not know that before we met you, Chicca.
You won a caper, Amy. Yeah, a caper from Italy. I will send it to you. Yeah, and yeah, a caper actually comes from a bush. And maybe you guys, do you have the picture to show everyone?
Yep. Yes. We're going to share it right now.
Yeah. The caper bush, it's a beautiful wild bush that grows into rocky walls. And in Tuscany, there are plenty of them. And so you can see them hanging down, and they have a beautiful flower. And just before the flowers bloom, we pick the little buds and we preserve them. And this is what a caper is. So it's not a fish, it's not an onion, it's a flower bud, okay? And as they are preserved in salt, it's really important to wash and rinse them, okay? So I will put them in a little colander under running water and make sure all the salt goes out, okay?
Chicca, I was going to say that, capers was always too salty for me. I didn't really like the flavor, but then when I had capers in Italy with you and had, like you said, when you washed it off and we used the ones that were not in a brine or vinegar, it tasted really different. So yeah, I think that does make a big difference in the type of caper you use.
Yeah, because if you use capers preserved in vinegar, that's terrible, with pasta, with cheese and anything. But it's interesting, maybe you guys, what the fruit of the caper, which is the olive with the stem that you usually have with your martini. This is another, and it comes from the same bush, but it's the fruit. So this is the bud, then you have the flower, and then you have the fruit, okay? 3 things from one bush. And so I'm going to wash them. I'm going to get the little colander here. And see, put them here and wash them. Okay. So make sure all the salt goes out. Okay, and I'll put them back. Then here we have olives. These are olive di Gaeta. Actually, it's a typical olive from Italy. And it's really easy to pit because you have to just take the pits out like this. Just squeeze them into your finger and the pit comes out. If you don't have them, you can substitute them with Kalamata olives. But I'm sure that if you live in a big city like New York or close to a big city, you can find Italian retailers having these olives. And so just put in some of them very quickly. You can see my fingers doing the job. Just squeeze them and the pit comes out. Have you done this in my place? Some of you, somebody has been here doing this job? I think people from
Yeah.
Yeah.
The type of olive, Chicca, again, is
yes, they are Gaeta, Geata. It's Gaeta is a small village in the south of Italy between Rome and Naples. And these little olives come exactly from this tiny place. And, you know, in Italy, all the food is so special because it's very much linked to different regions, to the climate, to people growing different things in different ways. That's why we have this incredible food culture. So see, I have pitted all the olives. They're okay. And here we have raisins. You know, guys, what raisins is. And now I want to show you how to chop the broccoli. So usually this part is always discarded, but actually if you take out the hardest part, you know, you get the center, which is still good, and chop it in small pieces.
This was a big lesson that you taught me, Chicca, was not to waste the heart of the broccoli, the stem part.
Yeah, because it's good, it's edible, but maybe, you know, just you used to throw it, but not. It's very good. So just take out. You can see, I don't know if you're doing this job, but you can see there is a part which is dark green and another one which is pale green. You keep just the pale one, okay? And then we just cut the broccoli in small florets like this, maybe 4 pieces. So this is actually the end of the season of broccoli, but I was able to find them.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, and yeah, we can still find them. And so I'm chopping them, and so the next step will be to saute all the pine nuts, capers, and olives together, and I will show you what we do. Okay, just chopping some. Maybe we'll start sauteing the other thing, and then I'll keep doing the broccoli. But actually, I'm almost finished here. Okay. Okay. Are you doing this at home? Is anybody cooking along?
Quite a few people cooking. I can't really see their broccoli, but
yeah, it's kind of fun to watch people cook.
Ryan's got his cut up. Anybody else showing us? Warren's got his cut up. David also.
And Chicca, I know that you mentioned that you could use cauliflower in addition to, or even just cauliflower, right, for this recipe?
Yeah, or Romanesco, if you have Romanesco. Yeah. And here we have a big pan here. And I'm adding olive oil to the pan. I want to spend a few words on the pan. It's not a non-stick pan, because I don't like to use non-stick, because, you know, all the Teflon, all the materials, they are not very good for our health. And I just found this beautiful pan. It's a stainless steel, but with a very thick bottom. So if you're able to find stainless steel pan with a thick bottom, this is a good purchase for you. Okay, now I'm putting the olive oil. This is our own olive oil, and I know people always ask me how much olive oil. So I never know, but I found an answer, which is cover the bottom of your pan, okay?
That's a good answer.
Cover the whole bottom of the pan.
Yeah, cover the whole bottom of the pan. So I make sure that all the bottom of the pan is covered. When it's covered, it's okay. And I want to show you the containers where we have our own olive oil. You can count in my pantry here. It's a little messy. And we have 1, 2, 3 stainless steel containers. Can you see? And there are little tabs at the end, at the bottom. And this is where I get my olive oil when I need it. I come here and I learn how not to spill the olive oil, count until 10, and the bottle is filled up. If I don't keep attention, it happens many times. So now I have my trick. Yeah. Okay. And now we just need to put all the things together, but garlic. Here I have garlic. And for this recipe, as we are going to saute garlic with olives, capers, and pine nuts and raisins, I'm not going to chop the garlic, but just crush it. So it does from preventing the garlic to burn, okay, from burning, okay.
So you're crushing it,
and if you crush
it, removing the little what is it, little stem kind of at the top, but keeping it whole.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and if if you just smash it with your knife, you don't have to peel it with your hands. The skin will come out easily by itself. Okay, you can see, no? So we like garlic, so we put like a 3 whole cloves. That's nice. But if you don't like garlic, and also if you don't like garlic, you can use the garlic, and if it's the whole piece, you can remove it. It's easy to remove it. And now we're gonna put everything in the pan. Okay, so garlic first, pine nuts, capers, and olives and raisins.
And the pan is not on yet? The heat?
Sorry?
Is the heat on already?
See, the heat is on. Yeah. Like medium heat, okay?
Okay.
Medium high heat. In the meantime, the pot with the water here, it's on and it's bubbling. I'll wait another second, and when it's bubbling, it's boiling, I will add salt. And I'll show you how much. And we put the broccoli first in the water. We put the lid on again. We wait until water boil again, and then we add the pasta. Okay? So pasta and the broccoli, the two things will cook in the same pot, in the same water. And this is the trick for this pasta. First, all pasta will absorb all the nutrients from the broccoli. And then we saute the pasta and broccoli together in the pan where we are sauteing all these foods. Okay, is everything clear?
Yeah, cooking the broccoli and the pasta in the same pot was the thing that really amazed me about this dish that I love, is that you're cooking two things at the same time, and then it's just a really, really great way for both things to cook together.
Yeah, I'm just checking it.
How's it smell? It smells really good over here, Chicca, by the way.
Yeah, even in this kitchen, it's smelling very good. Okay.
We have a question from Catherine. Is there a reason that the things sauteing are being kept separate?
No. I will mix everything just to make more clear what was in the pan. But yeah, we can mix everything. So everyone could see what was in the pan again. All the ingredients. Okay.
Perfect.
And if you don't have any of those things at home, the recipe can still work.
Exactly. This is a very forgiving recipe because it's simple. And if you don't have pine nuts, if you don't have olives, just use garlic and olive oil and Parmigiano. Sometimes I do like this.
And Chicca, when you say olive oil, can you tell people what kind of olive oil you're using?
Yes. So we use extra virgin olive oil. Okay, these words are really, really important because they indicate a very precise thing. The olive oil comes from the first cold press, and this is when the oil is good for our health because it contains all the vitamin E, all the polyphenols, and it's pressed at low temperature, and it's the first cold press. It's the first. Why do we say first? Because sometimes when you buy oil, like you can find olive oil or virgin olive oil, but if you don't have the word extra, it means that the first press, the paste from the first press was reused, and people were adding solvent and heating the temperature to get out the remaining oil. So it's a very refined product, and I think it's better to use butter than this type of oil because it's not good for you. And I do everything with my own olive oil. I mean, I use for cooking. I put it on the furniture. I put it on the skin, on my hair, and yeah, it's you can use it for everything. I also use the olive oil for frying because olive oil has a high smoking point, which means that it doesn't change its chemical compounds until it reaches a certain temperature. The other oil that has the same qualities is the pine nut oil, but it doesn't have all the vitamin E, which are anti-radicals, so they protect us from the formation of radicals, which are not good for our body. And yeah, olive oil is great. I think it's the second product in this region. The first one we could say it's the wine because this region is very famous for wine. Maybe if you are in the wine, if you're a wine lovers, you know about Sassicaia, Ornellaia. These wine are legends. And I think the olive oil should have the same fame because these trees are centuries years old. We have a tree here close to the house. It's 1,800 years old. So these tree have seen the humanity changes and so many things. So I think we should pay more respect uh, also to the olive oil than the wine because wine is more on, it's more special sometimes. But wine is really good here though.
Mika, I'm sharing a photo real quickly of Arno and I sorting out the olives from the yard. And so
yeah.
this past October, we were there during the olive harvest for her trees. And so this is the process of after we knock down the olives, this is us going through it and trying to pick out bad ones and those kind of things. And one of the things that we noticed about the olive oil is that it has a real fresh sort of peppery taste almost to it. Wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's very different and it has it's very fragrant as well when it comes out fresh. So it's pretty nice that Chicca has about like 30 trees on her property that she makes her own olive oil each year.
And we got a couple of clarifying questions from the chat. The olive oil in the saute, is that the same as the half cup olive oil that we have? I believe that is yes.
Yeah.
So the recipe suggested half a cup, but really you kind of eye it and just fill the
bottom of the pan.
Yeah. Depends on your pan.
And then someone was just clarifying why keep the garlic whole and not mince it. I know you said if you don't like the garlic, then it's easy to take it out at the end.
No, I think the reason why if you mince it too small, Chicca was saying that it will burn easier. So if you keep it bigger and whole, so if you crush it, you retain the flavor without burning the garlic. So that's one of the reasons why she's not mincing it or putting it through a press. Is that right, Chicca?
Yes, perfect. Jed. Yeah, actually Jed is my sous chef, so he knows everything. Yeah, he's my dolphin, Jed.
I'm your sous chef. You know I love that.
Yeah. Okay, now we are at a crucial moment. So, ladies and gentlemen, water is boiling, and I'm going to add salt. So, I say crucial moment because I know in the States you never put salt when you're cooking pasta, and I want to show you how much salt I put in this pot. So, this is 1 handful, 1, 2 handful. Maybe I'm not sure how much is the handful, and a little bit more, another handful. Okay, so I know that people sometimes they say I put a pinch, but a pinch doesn't do anything. the reason why we add salt to the boiling water, and I'm putting broccoli now, and I'll explain why. So the reason why we put salt is that because we want to have a tasty pasta, and so pasta when gets cooked absorb all the liquid, all the water. And if water is bland, pasta is bland, and it's not the same if you add salt over the pasta after pasta is cooked in your plate. So sometimes people think that maybe I want to poison them, or maybe their blood pressure will blow up. No, don't worry about anything of these problems, because to get all that salt in your body, you just have to drink all the pots of water. But we are draining the pasta, and all you get is just the flavor. So please trust me, do the same. Are you doing the same?
And Chicca, just so people know at home, you're using, what kind of salt are you using to salt your?
Yeah, this is coarse sea salt.
Coarse sea salt.
Sea salt, yes.
And Chicca, people are wondering if there are other good substitutes if they can't find the gaeta olive.
The Kalamata.
Kalamata, is black olives okay?
White olives, no. I wouldn't do it with white olives. No. Kalamata is okay, or just or maybe some Greek olives, like the baked ones. And if you like, you can also add anchovies. I know in the States, people don't like anchovies, but because they don't know what they are, and they are really good in Italy. And also hot chili pepper, if you like some spiciness, to add some spice to the dish. And so I'm gonna check here. So broccoli is boiling. Can you see?
Yep, broccoli is boiling.
Broccoli is boiling. Huh?
Getting bright.
Yeah, it smells very good. You can smell the saute. And now I'm putting the pasta. So I put like a, okay. And then in 12 minutes. Okay. Jet, can you put the timer?
How many minutes was that?
12. Thank you.
It's funny that I feel like you treated me like Siri there. Hey, Jed, can you set a timer?
Hey, no, I'm serious, Jed. Put the timer. Go. Okay. No, it's pulling.
Chicca,
And
was it 12 minutes?
12 minutes, yeah.
12 minutes.
Okay.
All right, I got it.
12. Okay, thank you. So now I'm going in the cheese. You know, what do you do in 12 minutes? So don't go, when you cook, take your time. Don't go on social media. Don't go on your computer, because this is when you burn your food. I've experimented that. So if I never watch my social media when I'm cooking, I always stay close to the pasta. I think pasta needs us when we cook. So we have to be close to the pasta. And now I'm grating the cheese. This is organic Parmigiano cheese. And Parmigiano comes from the north of Italy. It's made in the Po Valley, where they have the right climate for the cows to make this type of cheese. And you know, in Italy, we have so many different types of cheeses. And all of them come from different parts of Italy. And the reason why is that the climate is different. Like in Tuscany, the typical cheese is a pecorino cheese, is the sheep milk cheese, because this is the place where sheep are happy, and this is where they produce the good cheese. In south of Italy, you have mozzarella. I never find good mozzarella here. I'm from the south in Naples, and it's really impossible to find a good mozzarella unless it comes from the south. In the north of Italy, you still have gorgonzola, all the cow cheeses from the mountains. So I think you can also early do a trip throughout Italy just to taste thousands of different cheeses. It's amazing. And then now, so I have to grate the cheese. I'm talking to you, so I'm distracted. Oops, it's broken. Yeah. So by the way, this is a very good grater. It's called Microplane, and it's from the US. I don't know if you have this this type of grater. And there are different shapes. I love them. The first time I saw them, I was in the States, and now I have 5 of them.
It's a lot.
They're great. Yeah, you wanna see? 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little one there, 5. So, okay.
I feel like this is bringing me back to memories where I was grating a lot of cheese in your kitchen.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the cheese. So when you have good tools in your kitchen, also your job will be easier. And so we just stirred the pasta. One thing that I want to do is to preserve a little bit of the pasta water because it contains a lot of starch, and it will be useful to loosen the pasta when we saute the pasta into the pan, because we are going to drain the pasta and the broccoli and put them back into the pan and mix them, saute them for about 1-2 minutes, and add the Parmigiano cheese. And so if the pasta is too sticky, we add a little bit of the water, okay? And this is a good trick. I don't know if you know about this one, but keep it with you, okay? Just take a little cup for pasta.
So when you drain out the water, leave at least a little bit, just
so you can make it.
Yeah.
That's a good tip. I like.
I want to show you my cup.
What does it say?
It says, if you have an emergency, call Arnaud.
Wow, how did you get that?
Call your husband. I love that.
I don't know where. I think where did you get this one? Maybe he doesn't remember. So, but I like it. So in the kitchen, if I have an emergency, I call Arnaud. Okay.
I like that.
Yeah. One thing I like to do is to taste as I go. Salt is good. Pasta is not done yet. And you can see, the broccoli here, they're breaking apart, So they become a little creamy,
When you said the pasta is not ready yet, what texture are you, like, how do you know that in your mouth when you taste it?
It's hard. And when you break it here with your teeth, you can still see the white parts inside, This is one thing that you can see. And if you want to have some broccoli still crunchy, you can take them out and add it to the pan, like a couple of it.
Okay.
I don't know if you...
Typically, the broccoli will basically disintegrate during this process. So if you want still bites of fuller broccoli, you could take that out early.
Yeah, just like when they're cooked. But this depends on the broccoli. Some broccoli are tough, some broccoli are softer. And then depends also the cooking time of the pasta, because 10 minutes is it's quite a long time for broccoli. I would say 7-8 would be okay. But if your pasta cooks earlier, definitely you can keep them together until the end, pasta and broccoli. Or we can put them on the side.
I think that's a really good tip too, because when we've made the broccoli pasta at home, it, like Michelle says, it has disintegrated, so it just turns into almost like a creamy sauce. But I like that you are separating a couple of them, so that way, if somebody wanted to see the broccoli and also eat like bits of it, that's something that now I'm gonna have to do, because we haven't done that yet.
Okay. New thing, Jed. New thing.
Yeah, you're holding tips for me.
Yeah.
Trisha asked, what if you put the pasta in first, then the broccoli in a bit later?
But just I want to wait the water to boil again. Otherwise, you put too many things together.
I think Chicca, she's asking if you switch the order. If you were to cook the pasta first and then the broccoli, I think what you've told me in the past is that the broccoli doesn't cook down enough, correct?
Yeah. You have to make sure it's better to have overcooked broccoli than overcooked pasta, So maybe one thing is to check your cooking time for your pasta. And if it's 10 minutes, 7, 8 minutes, you can throw everything together in the pot. But if pasta is shorter, you just do the way I did, like first broccoli and then pasta. So you make sure broccoli are cooked all the way through.
And what's kind of neat is later on, as you make this recipe at home, if you can always adjust things. So if you would like to add more broccoli flavor or more broccoli in general, you can always add, more than the recipe calls for.
Yeah.
You can also, as she said, add anchovies. Sometimes we put like a little bit of chicken or salmon on top.
Yeah, it's just very versatile. Like once you have this sort of base technique down, there's lots of different ways that you can kind of customize it. Except for spicy. Don't do spicy, right, Chicca?
No, she said to do it.
No, no. If you like it, you can do it. Yeah, but I think it's important to understand how good is to saute the pasta with everything after it's cooked. Because sometimes people just cook the pasta, drain the pasta, and drop on the pasta the sauce.
Right.
But while we saute in the pan, because while pasta will be still cooking in the pan, it will absorb all the flavors. So it's another way to give more flavors to the pasta. Okay, it's like doing a risotto. So a little bit of risotto, Okay, take another one out. I check again. So how's the timer, Jed? How many minutes?
Well, the timer is we're supposed to do like 3 more minutes, but it's all about, like you said, it's about the taste, right? It's about when it's ready, right?
Yeah, no, but I will wait another minute. I think in 1 minute it's okay.
Okay.
Okay. In the meantime, I have switched the heat off on the pan because everything will get burnt. And first I drain the pasta, put the pasta into the pan, mix very well, saute, see if I need some pasta water. And when I add the cheese, I switch off the heat again, so the cheese doesn't stick in at the bottom of your pan. This is very important. Even when you do your risotto, when you add cheese, just switch off the heat because cheese will be overcooked. And in this way, it just melts and it's stick together with the pasta. Otherwise, it goes under the bottom of your pan and it cooks and it sticks under the bottom of your pan. Okay?
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yes. And Chicca, someone asked about another recipe of yours. You have a cookbook, and I know that you've put it into a PDF, right?
Yeah.
Is this one of the recipes that's in there?
Yeah. It's in there. It's pasta and broccoli is in there. Yeah.
Okay. And that her website and then that cookbook is another great place to check for her recipes.
Yeah.
And we'll post those later in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So David Epstein is showing your actual cookbook right now.
Yes.
Which is great.
Yeah. Ciao, David. He's always cooking along with us. He has been attending, I don't know how many.
That's great.
Many times. Yeah. And he has been to Italy many times. I don't know, 4 or 5. You can ask him. Maybe more. I don't know. How many times, David, have you been to Tuscany?
I think he's typing and letting us know.
Okay. Okay, so now I'm draining the pasta.
7 times.
7 times, see? Yeah, wow, so many times. Okay, so I need to open the cold water because I don't want to ruin the pipe. Okay. So you can see most of the broccoli here are gone. Okay. And yeah, I'm going here to the stove. So when you drain the pasta and your stove is far away from your sink, you just put the strainer on the pot again, so you don't drip all the water on the floor. Maybe you know that. So just pour this, and then I start mixing like this. So the heat is on now again. It's really good. I don't know if you
Oh,
can
that
see
looks
any.
really good. I'm getting very hungry right now.
And this orecchiette, I bought this orecchiette, but actually you can handmade them. It's pretty easy. It's not that difficult. You don't need a machine. You just need your fingers. Maybe we can do another time again.
You know,
Together.
the last class you hosted online was handmade gnocchi.
Yeah.
Would
Yeah.
would that work as well for this?
Yeah. But the dough is different from gnocchi. Okay, now this is beautiful, and maybe I'll just a little water, so when I add the cheese, it doesn't clump all together. Okay, now it's time to add the cheese.
Looks like Warren's already eating his.
Sorry?
Warren's already eating.
We have some people who have already made it. They finished already.
Ah, wow. How is it? I want to know the results. How is it?
Warren gives it a thumbs up.
Thumb up. Okay, great. So R is done too. Can you see it's pretty loosey and creamy because most of the broccoli are disintegrated, but we can see chunks of broccoli. It's delicious. So it's done. Yeah.
Awesome.
Any questions?
Let's see. We have some people that are saying it's delicious. Great recipe.
Kanani,
maybe we can.
Peter gives the thumbs up too.
Our friend Kanani says she really appreciates the that salt in the pasta water.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Chicca, did you want to also share your kind of salad dressing? I know that's not an exact recipe, but is that something you're able to show us today?
Sí. Yeah. Okay, I'll take my bowl and I'll do very freestyle, okay? So you take a little bowl. But maybe we can run out a second to see the sunset. You want to see the sunset, guys?
Oh, wow, sure.
Yeah, sunset.
You're asking us if we want to go to Tuscany and see a sunset? I think the answer
Here we have a very dirty dog. He was out in the mud.
Oh, Frida.
Yeah. Woo. And so now it's clear again. Can you see the sun?
Ooh, kind of. It's, oh, there we go. Oh, thanks, Arno.
Yeah.
Nice magic work, Arno, on the camera.
Awesome.
And the village. Yeah. Yeah, and the rosemary bush. I can show everyone my rosemary bush. One of them. It's we are very happy anytime it's raining because here it doesn't rain much, and so the nature needs some water. You know, it has been it didn't rain for about a month maybe, so now it's good. So this is my rosemary bush.
It's just as tall as you are.
Yeah, and I trimmed also the rosemary bush, so it was taller than me. Yeah, and you can see here the little tomato plants here, and Swiss chard, strawberries, potatoes. This year I took 2 potatoes. You know, they were sprouting. I had 2 potatoes in the kitchen, and I planted them, and they're huge. So we're gonna have potatoes, zucchini, and all the herbs, basil, sage. This is a sage bush. And this is, I don't know the name, and this is very good. I make tea out of it from this flower. And I know the Latin name is Helichrysum. Maybe you guys, I don't know in English. And it has lots of good property for anti-inflammatory properties. This is oregano, the salad, savory. And this is, I want to share this one because this is so sweet. This is a garlic flower.
Oh.
And it's edible. Sometimes I make omelette out of it, or also raw in salads. It's very, very good. It's now, it's in season now. This is thyme, marjoram, and kale here. Kale and basil, purple basil, parsley, celery, and more tomatoes. You can see the tomatoes. We have already tomatoes on the vines. Can you see them?
Wow.
Yeah.
Looking good, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely one of the best things about eating in Italy is the fresh ingredients, and doesn't get much fresher than this.
Yeah. And then zucchini. Maybe I can take some of them because they are done. Can you see the zucchini? And the flowers. These are the flowers. They open up in the morning. They are huge flowers, like trumpets. Yeah. So later I'll come. And these are another type of tomatoes. These are bigger tomatoes. Can you see? Yeah. Okay. And more zucchini. Wow, that's a huge one here. There's a huge one. This one.
Chicca, we have already passed an hour, so I want to make sure that we get to
the salad dressing
before people go. And also, while we're out, what is the best way for people to stay in touch with you if they want to join future classes?
They can email me. I always respond, always, no problem. Email me or follow me on Facebook, but email is okay.
Okay, I'm going to put some links to your website and Facebook in the chat here. So she's at Cookingintuscany.cc or facebook.com/cookingwithchicca, Chicca, Chicca.
And just remember, everyone, that this is being recorded, and we'll be sending you an email with the recording and these links as well. So if you can't get to it right now in the chat, no problem.
Do you want to talk about her dressing?
Oh, so one of the reasons why we asked Chicca to show you about her dressing, and because she makes it every day, is that it's not the same, but she kind of uses like household ingredients, and it's kind of something that I really like. That, you know, we normally in the States, because of time, we will go to the store and get something bottled and then just use that. But I really like that every day you can mix a salad dressing, and so it's different because she's doing it every day. But it's also it's very fresh and just something that's pretty easy to do that I never realized how easy it was. So that's why we asked her to do this today.
Yeah. So olive oil, of course, is the base. Okay. So I put some olive oil, then some apple cider vinegar. Okay. So if you really wanna measure, you can say 2 little of this cap.
2 capfuls.
Yeah, like this. Then I have some mustard. I would do like 1 spoon here.
Do you know what kind of mustard that is, Chicca?
This comes from France, and by any type of mustard is fine.
Okay.
This is a strong one with the seeds inside. Then some balsamic vinegar. It's a little sweet, like this, and honey. Some honey. I'm gonna get some honey.
And if you only have a few of these, like olive oil,
it doesn't matter.
Balsamic, or I know sometimes you use jam instead.
Yeah, sometimes you can use jam. Yeah, sometimes I use jam, especially if I have some leftover jam with in the salad dressing. Is great. Gives a very nice flavor. And garlic. So I press a garlic in the dressing. I use a very good garlic press named by the New York Times as the best garlic press. It's a seed leaves. Maybe I can send Jed and Michelle the link to Amazon. And you don't even have to take the skin out. So that's very, very useful. And just press it.
Yeah, that's a trick you taught me that I do now is I don't peel the garlic. I just put it in the press and press it out.
Okay, and then garlic is out. Okay. And then we add a little salt. And if you like, you can add pepper. Or if you don't like vinegar, add lemon. Sometimes I just do lemon, garlic, salt, and olive oil. And this is great too. And then you can add honey. You know, try to find the balance you like. I think the more you cook, the more you educate your palate, your taste buds. So this is what you have to trust to. You don't have to trust only to a recipe, trust to yourself. You know, that's really important. Okay, so this is done.
Just add it to whatever greens you have, right?
Yeah. I use also to make a salad with kale. I don't know if you guys do that. Mm-hmm. I chop the kale very, very, very finely, and this is a great salad dressing because it has lots of flavors that kills a little bit the bitterness of the kale. Unless in Italy it's pretty bitter, so it's good to have something a little spicy like the mustard, and a little sweet like the honey and the balsamic. And the vinegar also cooks a little bit the kale. Okay, so I think are we finished now, or do we have more time?
Yeah, I think if that's all of our recipes for today. So we just want to thank everyone. We hope you enjoyed this experience. Real quick, as you've probably heard, tourism in Italy has been hit really hard right now. So normally Chicca would be ramping up her classes for the summer, but thankfully we're able to bring Chicca to people's homes online. She will be doing this more and more. We just want to ask if you enjoyed this experience today and would like to support Chicca. You do have the option to express your gratitude through PayPal. Her link I'm going to put in the chat is Chicca Maione, that's her full name. Any amount is appreciated, and I know that she will send her ebook, cookbook, for those who do make a contribution today.
Yeah. Remember, go ahead, Chicca.
No, just want to thank you, everyone. I want to thank Jed and Michelle for organizing this. I really appreciate their job. They're always very professional whatever they do. And and I want to thank everyone who has been attending the class. And I hope that you can come back to Tuscany as soon as possible.